各位观众晚上好，我们今天要玩《最终幻想》，or as we know it in English, Final Fantasy. Hello everyone, welcome to our first stream of Final Fantasy. This is usually the point where I usually introduce the developer, talk about the game a little bit. The developer is Square. At this time, they were known as Square. They don't even have SquareSoft yet, so that was the original name of the Hello Lucian Queen. Welcome of the company. Perhaps the current company, Square Enix, is actually a combination of two different companies. There was a merger later on, but this game came before that. So this is final. So Square kind of, you know them as RPG makers these days. They don't. Back when this game came out in 1987, 1987. Oh my goodness. They were still kind of figuring out. Hello, Romeo and Ocean Queen, by the way. Welcome. Still trying to figure out what they were making games they wanted to make, and then this game helped keep the company alive. Well, this game called Final Fantasy. I could introduce what Final Fantasy is about, but I mean, if you somehow don't know, it's a RPG series that has been around since 1987. So you might think it's definitely one of the earliest Japanese RPGs. Definitely very influential on many RPG series from this point on, and some things spawned from it, including the Mana and Saga series, which is also are from Square, and eventually Square Enix, or they were SquareSoft as in the U.S. in the West for a while until they became Square Enix later on. After merging with Enix, who makes Dragon Quest, the actual first Japanese RPG, quote unquote, earlier than pretty much everything else. So, yeah, that's a little quick thing about the series itself. You don't have to have played any of this the earlier games in the series to enjoy the current ones. They do little nods every so often, but they're not in the same continuity or in the same universe, so you do not have to worry about that. But anyway, that's the quick little thing about Final Fantasy itself and this game itself, the very first one that essentially saved the company from going under, which is why it's called Final Fantasy. But it was not the final game for Square ever made, so obviously they have survived to the current day. We're going to ask for version. You might be wondering why I didn't pick something more modern, and essentially it comes down to masochism. No, but in all seriousness, I felt like for historical purposes it'd be fun to do the NES version. So this game, also Final Fantasy, the actual Final Fantasy 1, is out on many different systems. There's different versions that were made. There's like the Wonder Swan remakes, like the first one, and then like that's Dawn of Souls, and then they made an expand, and then there's and those are pretty different from this version as well, and then it looks a lot nicer too. And then eventually they'll have like the PSP. There's so many versions of the game. This isn't a history lesson on versions of Final Fantasy. There are videos for that as well. But needless to say, like the latest versions, the Pixel Remaster, and that is the Square wants you to do that, play that version. Square Enix wants you to play that one if you wanted to enjoy the game in the modern format. And they've changed a bunch of stuff too. I don't know all the version differences, so I'm not the expert on things that have changed, but I will talk about if I know of any differences that for future games, for future versions of this game. But we're playing the NES version since this is the first localized version. It is not the first version of the game. Obviously, the game came out on the Famicom first, which is it's the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, is the Western or the Western version of the console. Both the European and the North American one. We're playing the North American version of the. I think this is the only. There is only a North American version of the game. I don't think it came out in Europe. Like this Final Fantasy 1. What a shame. It's really sad. You really got shafted a lot for Final Fantasy. It would take a long time before they would get to play certain games in the series, but this is the first localized version, and it's the one people who grew up with the NES remember. So I felt it was the one to play, especially since it's the one. This is also the version of the game I have played the furthest. But that was a very, very long time ago, and I never finished it. So this is why I'm playing it with the intention of, well, finishing it. So yeah, join me on this journey. It's going to be quite a doozy. This game is not easy, and there will be a lot of grinding. So there will be a lot of time when have a lot of things I can just throw out random topics, I guess, when we are doing the grinding, because that's coming up pretty soon. Yeah, I will try to minimize. I'll try not to make every grinding too long, but it will happen. This is a early game, so it's not perfectly paced. But I think we'll still have a lot of fun. So if you can deal with all the bit of the slowness of the NES version of the game, compared to how snappy it is in later versions, then yeah, let's go ahead and enjoy this. Okay, so I also I can now turn the sound on. Welcome. This is, of course, I also have to fix the resolution. It is incorrect. I should have actually done this. I should have fixed the resolution first, actually. I actually wanted to have the game not be turned on at the time. Oh, right. No. Anyway, this is not how the game actually starts. Let's go ahead and restart the game. All right. The world is veiled in darkness. The wind stops. The sea is wild, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait, their only hope, a prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 warriors will come. After a long journey, 4 young warriors arrive, each holding an orb. Now, you might be wondering, orb? Why would we want to hold an orb? Well, my friends, that is not actually what it is. There is a limitation on localized terms. So you'll notice a lot of item names are truncated or like shorter or abbreviated because it didn't fit in the text boxes. So the actual name of orbs are crystals. So anytime you see orb, it means crystal because crystal doesn't fit in the text box. So yeah, that will be that's one of those localization things. But yeah, you'll see other games later in the series talk all about crystals anyway. So, and if anyone can guess it, we're talking about crystals. All right, so we have 4 young warriors arriving, each holding an orb. All right, now we have welcome to this first screen, Final Fantasy. Oh, wait, how's the volume? If the volume's good, I guess we'll keep it like this. I don't want to blow your ears off. The respawn rate means how fast the text boxes will scroll. You can go all the way to 8, but generally that's pretty fast, so this will make battles hard to follow. Ironically, it's too fast. So if you do and run, it's very, very, very slow. So we're gonna go for 6. And let's do a new game. I think it sounds okay. Great. Alright. This is a very interesting game because you can set up your party from the start. So, unlike later games, it won't be a fixed party. That will change in... Final Fantasy II has a fixed party, but some games don't. Or perhaps they have a some games have fixed parties, but you can change their roles. But this game doesn't have a fixed party, so we will be choosing our classes off the bat and naming our characters. You're all good with the sound. Neat. Alright, first things first. This is our first party member, the fighter. So, you might be wondering why, if the order matters and if the characters are picked, and yes, it does. The person on the top of the screen of the party actually takes 50% of the hits, and then the second person is 25, and then it goes down like 12.5, 12.5. I forget the exact. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to have your tanks characters in the top, and then the lower defense characters on the bottom. So that's all I really remember. So because of that, we want to pick the fighter. The fighter has the best defense in the game, so why he should be the first one. And we get to name our fighter too. So let's see. What did I pick? If I remember, I will name him. Well, we can't fit the entirety of the name, but we'll put in Glenn. A little reference to a different Square game. If you know which one it is, then that's pretty cool, huh? Okay. We have Glenn. Okay, so you might think like, okay, maybe we'll pick Thief or Black Belt, but I think the problem with Thief in this version of the game is that they, well, like if I remember, like the Thief, it's unfortunately not a great class in this version of the game. I think in later ones they fix it so that he's actually pretty good, but he doesn't have the defense or the the Thief eventually will learn some black magic later on, but it's just really late by that point. And the key is the game is harder in the beginning than in the end when you're stronger, so you probably want classes that can get you through the end, and that means it's probably better to just get a red mage. I know, what? The red mage can equip very good armor anyway, and you might think, but then won't your magic suffer? Well, not really. I will explain more as we show the screen, but let's, off the status screen, about certain funny things about this version of the game. So we'll be picking a red mage. For the red mage, I haven't thought of, now I need to think of a name. I actually considered making this a poll, but it would be it's too involved, and that would be for 4 characters. So I decided I'll just go ahead and pick the names myself. Yeah. So we have Glenn, and then this person can be named, I was thinking, like, should it be I make another reference to a different game in the series? But, let's do one that's, actually a reference to not a Square game, but one of their rivals. Lutz. I don't know if you know, this is also a reference to a different game, so I think we'll have fun with this one too. If you know which game, then you could go ahead and post it. And especially it's one we haven't streamed the game that I took the first one character's name from, but the second game's the second character's name, that the game that name comes from, we have definitely streamed on this before. So if you remember our previous streams, you'll know who that character is. Anyway, now we're here on for the person with the next highest defense. We want to go with the black belt. So yes, I know. So amazingly, the black belt has less defense than the red mage. Well, I think the problem is that we will be relying on the black belt to dodge more rather than tank more. It's better for the black belt to evade than to tank. So that's why we've picked the black belt, and we'll now get to name our black belt. I already have a name in preparation. I know. I think it's actually Monk is generally the class name, but they picked black belt so it doesn't sound nearly as religious. This is the 80s, so people are very afraid of raising the ire of Christian organizations, which is really sad that it became like it was like that for a long time. But I mean, religious organizations were very powerful in the 80s, and Nintendo of America, who helped localize this game, didn't want to get problems. So I think that's why it's not called Monk. It will be in later versions of the game, and later games in the series, but it's called the black belt for this one, even though it's not necessarily only for a karateka or like some martial artist, but it's a martial art based class. So for his name, we will pick from a different game in the series. And also, I think it feels pretty fitting anyway. The monk is very Buddhist themed, and I think this is like Yang is a Chinese name, but it's also the name of a character in a future game in the series. If you can name that one, then you get brownie points to you. And finally, we have Glenn, Lutz, and Yang, and now we can pick our last class. So you might think, oh, maybe we'll pick the thief because defense is good. But yeah, as I said, the problem with thief, it just doesn't have doesn't have magic for a long time. We could pick red mage, but I think it's better if we pick white mage. So because the red mage can do certain spells, but the white mage still has some useful spells the red mage cannot learn. And so I think we will want to have the white mage. So the Lutz name and Yang is from the same series as what you said? No. So Lutz is one from a Naughton Square game. It's from a rival game from a different company. Glenn is from a game made by Square, but not a Final Fantasy game. And Yang is from a game that is a Final Fantasy game. So we have picked the white. So the white mage knows lots of stuff that the red mage can't, and you will need them for healing. I guess you don't actually need to gender the white mage, I guess. So let's see. We'll go with white mage. Okay, 3 different games. Yep. It's funny because in my original playthrough, I think I named my white mage Sarah, but that would get really confusing because there is also a character named Sarah in the game. So which I found out, so I was like, oh, that's gonna get really confusing. So I'll name the character differently. So let's see. For the white mage, yeah, there's a name I'm thinking, but. Technically, since as I mentioned, the white mage doesn't have to. There's no fixed gender for the white mage really. So we'll name the white mage. Yeah, the problem is, as you notice, the names have to be limited to 4 letters, so that does make things very, very annoying for creativity. In future versions of the game, it will be easier, but you can have longer names than this, so don't worry, this is just a limitation for the NES version. And it's sad because in Japanese you would be 4 characters, so you could use katakana, hiragana, but that's also quite limiting too. You would only have 4 syllables. It's a little better than saying it than the English where you only have 4 characters. You can do more sounds, but oh well. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit, but we could name her Terra. I can't get the full spelling, but I think this could be quite interesting. Or, actually, I'm actually going to change this. Might as well have it from the same name as Yang, from the same game as Yang. It fits better anyway and makes more sense with the... Yeah, we'll name her Rosa. Neat. Alright, we have our party ready. And as you see, I put the white mage with her low defense in the back. In the bottom. So that she will take hits a lot less. So that will be the plan for now. I notice I'm not showing you my hand. I'll move over here a little bit better. Yeah, this might be better for you guys so you can actually see my right hand. So yeah, I think we're ready. I know you spend a lot of time figuring out our party members, but I had a lot to say, so cool. You have Glenn, Luz, Yang, and Rosa. If you can name where Yang and Rosa come from, great. And yeah, I didn't make it too hard. I didn't pick something obscure. I could have picked something from... I did not pick anything from like Xuan Yuan Sword or Sword of Fairy or something. That would be pretty mean. And those names won't really fit, sadly don't really fit into 4 characters, so I couldn't use those anyway. But anyway, this is our party, and let's go. Alright guys, now you might be tempted to go adventuring away and doing stuff, but let's go first visit the castle. So guys, this won't be a blind playthrough, so I've made notes for up to certain points in the game about what to do and how to, what spells to buy, because we want to make sure we are ready. This game is really unforgiving as for a blind playthrough, so I have decided not to do that in order to spare you all the pain and sorrow. Yeah. So, very quickly, and a little thing about why I picked Red Mage. Now, you might see that intelligence is a thing in this game. But is it now? That's the worst part. Intelligence is a illusion. And you got it, Glenn from Chrono Trigger. Good job. Points to Romeolo. But I enjoy seeing your pain. Oh, don't worry. Even if you are prepared in this game, you will feel pain. Yeah, there's a certain dungeon that's coming up later that will punish us very, very hard. And other ones won't be as nice, especially with the stone status element. Yuck. So we will have a lot of grinding and pain in that sense. But yeah, you might see that the intelligence stats is a thing, but it is an illusion. So what I mean by that is not that the intelligence stat doesn't exist. It's just that in this version of the game, it does not work. It has no effect on anything. It's bugged. It will be fixed in later versions, but because it is bugged, there is no downside to picking a red mage. Normally, if you picked a red mage, you would have lower intelligence, like I showed you. See, the intelligence 10 versus a white mage, which is 15, so you would have to think, oh, I could pick a black mage, or should I do a red mage, which is a hybrid class, right? Well, if your mages don't really do more damage based on intelligence, and all their spells do the same thing, there really is no downside to doing a red mage versus a black mage. So that's why we have picked a red mage, because the black mage is a red mage but worse. The only thing the black mage can do that the red mage cannot is use a spell called Nuke, or I think it's called Flare. In the standard name is Flare, but Flare it's not necessary to have Flare in this game, so and it would make the beginning way harder, so there's no point. Why do that when you can have an attacker, a more physical attacker? And because spells are very, very expensive, I will show it to you when we play more. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to focus on magic because you just run out so fast in this game. So that's why we picked a red mage. And yeah, there's other things like for our black belt, we also have to make sure to counter a bug where if his absorb won't match his level unless you do this little trick. You saw it was 0 just now, right? But I had to go to the armor screen and then check his stats, and now his absorb is exactly his level. It's a bug in the game. So we'll be dealing with a lot of these funny little bugs, and that will make certain spells not work properly. So I'll tell you as we go. Okay, yeah, this is what we're dealing with, guys. Welcome to the world of Final Fantasy on the NES. Bugged stats that don't work, but they will in future versions. They'll be pretty. Most of the bugs you see will be fixed, but I'll talk about them as we go. Let's go to the castle first. Welcome to the castle. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? Yeah, and actually one of the things you'll notice is that the translation for this game is quite competent. Like, so obviously it was done, I think it was done with the help of Nintendo of America, I think. Oh, my sister. Sister? So did something happen to her sister? Also, once again, like, I know this game is very, very old, and it's spoiled a bit to oblivion, but please don't spoil later parts of the game unless I say you can. The king is... Okay. Yeah, I think all the guards say the same thing. Like, are you the light warriors? Alright, let's go here. In sadness, the queen locked herself inside. Oh, I guess she didn't lock in. I guess this is the queen. I am Jane, queen of Corneria. Or... Corneria? Misspellings. It's Corneria. I think it's in... So, there you go. Please save my daughter, Princess Sarah. Remember I mentioned there's a character named Sarah? Well, that's this character. This is why the character is. Please save the princess. Okay. I think there's a secret NPC. Oh, no, none. Garland used to be a good knight. Until... Garland? Who's that? Let's go up here and see what we can do. So this is the second floor. I know these are quite vast for the time. I mean, only Dragon Quest had dungeons this big. Reports say that Garland holds the princess in a temple to the northwest. Oh, I guess that's where we need to go. By the way, this is a real NES. So, as you can see, this is my NES controller. And I'm playing on the real. So, there are no save states or speed ups. So, we're watching the game as it was intended to be presented. So, unfortunately, that also means things will take longer. So, please bear with us. But I think it's better to express how the game is supposed to be played. But most people would play this on emulator, I know. I wish I still had my NES. I'm very happy I have mine. This NES has been modded, but not for any other reason other than video output. So if you notice, it looks nicer than a normal NES. It's because the video output's using the NES RGB, something called an NES RGB, which makes you can use SCART RGB with your NES this way, and that's why it looks so nice. Love it. Yeah, so normally it doesn't look nearly this good if I connected my childhood NES. This is actually a second NES. I have a childhood NES that is mostly unmodded. I included a Nintendo drawer with that one, which is basically fixes the stupid thing where sometimes that mechanism doesn't work properly. If you have an NES, you basically put in the cartridge and slid it down. Oh my, yeah, that thing broke. It was very unreliable, and since I lived in Saipan, an island in the Pacific for my childhood, that NES had to suffer humidity as well, which probably didn't help the cartridge slot at all. But it's the actual God thing works. I just had to replace it with this thing called the Nintendo drawer, which really makes things, because you just put in the cartridge and it works. It's so good. It's such a great upgrade. So I mean, some people don't like that because you have to modify the console, but I'm sorry, if you want to play the console, like, as much as nostalgic as it is to put the cartridge and put it down, it really doesn't work well. And You can replace it with third party. It's just it still doesn't work very well. And why bother when you can just get the Nintendo drawer and just replace that slot with it? But this one is a NES 2, so it's the second model that was literally the cartridge just goes straight into the cartridge slot. So good, and it works way better that way. Except, I'm sorry, I actually lied. It's not an NES 2. This is an AV Famicom. So yeah, my AV this is actually a Japanese console playing in the US version. I know it's weird, but yes, it's possible. There was no region lock at the time, so you could play Japanese versions and on US versions interchangeably. I think for HAL versions or European versions, 50 Hz, you can't, unfortunately. I don't think they work properly if you do it that way. So you had to play with 50 Hz, so your games were slower. It's a little unfortunate thing about PAL gaming on PAL systems, but anyway, sorry, I'm getting in a little off topic there. But I felt it was good to mention, so you guys don't think I can just hit a button and speed up the game. I can't. Anyway, the guards say the same thing. Hey, here's the king. Light warriors. Just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped... Oh, sorry. Light warriors. Just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped the princess. Please help her. Alright, so that's our quest. We gotta go save Princess Sarah. And like, I hope I guess Garland kidnapped her. If you play Stranger of Paradise, you'll get a little bit more. You'll get to be a bit pretty familiar with Princess Sarah. I'm not going to spoil Stranger of Paradise for you, but let's just say it connects to this part of the game, the beginning of this game. This guy, the Warrior of Light, the man on the box art, and you see on our chat background that there's a art of the light, one of the Warriors of Light. That's the upgraded version of the fighter for later, the Knight class, and that's his actual design. It's more intricate than the NES can express, but yeah, he shows up in Stranger of Paradise. Oh, I've never actually played Stranger of Paradise, but I know spoilers about it already. But so I kind of know what happens. But yeah, let's just say it's quite important. Stranger of Paradise connects to this game. I know, weird, like a modern game. Most people didn't realize it, but didn't know. But I just spoiled it. A little bit of a spoiler for Stranger of Paradise. It does connect to this game. 400 years ago, the treasury was locked by the Mystic Key. Our ancestors gave the key to the Prince of Elfland for safekeeping. What a shame. I guess we don't have a key, so I was hoping I could open this door locked by the Mystic Key, but I can't. Yeah, they say the same thing. Yeah, I know. That's what most of us. That's what it made me curious. It's curious enough to wonder if I should go try and play it, in spite of the meminess of. It's kind of, despite the meme of like I've come to kill chaos. But I know that's what Stranger of Paradise is mostly known for. Jack saying the main character Jack saying I want to kill chaos. I won't spoil who Jack actually is, but so I'm not gonna say anymore. All right, welcome. Now we're done with the how do I say this? We're done with the castle. Let's go talk to people in the town. On the sign, kind of neat that they actually laid it out like a medieval town. They have the walls around it and the castle, and then the thing. This is Corneria, the Dream City. Anyway, I think it's spelled Corneria this way because of unfortunately it's text limitations. Sorry guys. It's Corneria in later. I forget it says Cornelia actually. I need to check. Is Lutz from a game that has star in the name? Yes, it is. I like that name. Yeah, good job. Good job, team. Illusion got it right. I am Arelon the dancer. I think she actually dances in later versions of the game. Warriors, revive the power of the crystals. Yeah, so the crystals they're referring to are those four little circles on the top. They are crystals. They're orbs in this game. I forget if they redesigned the sprites to look that way, or if it's that, or the Famicom version looks like that. It's about the crystals anyway. Please save the princess. By the way, these sprites are also, you'll see them in later versions of the later games in the series too. Yang and Rosa are not from the Star series. No, they are not. Lucan left this town to join his colleagues at Crescent Lake. I guess we'll have to keep Crescent Lake in mind for later. The king is sure that someday the Light Warriors will come to save the princess, just as in Lucan's prophecy. Will we save her, though? I don't know. Do we feel like it? Please save the princess. Anyway, so you might see this heart house. This is the clinic, and he says you do not need my help now. Yeah. So remember, in this game there are no Phoenix Downs at all. There is a life spell, but that is not till much later in the game. So basically, if you get any character killed, you have to come all the way back here to cure them. So we will try to minimize character deaths, because we do not want to desync the levels too much. But it is very, very bad if you lose a character, which is why it's very important to, let me show you, to keep your characters in the correct order. And this will be important, especially with poisoning, which kind of pushes the characters down. You have to always make sure to rearrange them. So, yay. They are, Yang and Rosa are from not an NX game. They're from a same game in the series. Same series, but not this game. So they are from a different Final Fantasy game. My home is Pravoka. Pravoka, a beautiful port city far east of here. I wonder if we'll go there. Yeah, so the game's not going to handhold you about where to go. FF4, yeah, good job. Everyone has figured it out. Nice. Congratulations. Now that's a game we have not streamed on stream yet, so I would love to do that eventually. I haven't prioritized it because it's a game I've already beaten, but I mean pretty much everything from 4 to 10 I've already beaten, so it's kind of technically fair game. But I wanted to come to this one because this hasn't been beaten. All right, now that I've talked a lot and talked to all the people, it's time to do the shopping list. I make shopping lists for everyone. All right, let's see. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, here we go. I had not, for some reason my notes were in the wrong, had not updated. So let's see. For the shopping list, let's first go to our weapon shop. We have a limited budget of 400 gold, so that's actually Gil, but it'll be called GP and a bunch of other things for a long time. But it's 400 Gil in Japanese. Yeah, I thought I would start with it, but I managed to find do all the way from 1 to 15. Yeah, you're even more hardcore than me. I haven't even played 1 to 15. We have not played finished 12. I do want to try playing the newer version of 12. I played the original 12, but I did not. I ran into a certain wall in that game and never decided. And I just didn't want to climb it. Basically, I got that it walled me out, and I was just done. I gave up on the game. I was just like, okay, I can't grind this much. Yeah, the online ones I didn't play. I'm not as interested. I'm the same way. I did not play any of 11 or 14, which are online MMORPGs. It's for me is not a lack of interest, but more of a I'm just too scared to take such time commitments, so I never played those. We have streamed 15 on this stream too, so that was fun. We have not streamed 13. I have beaten 13-1. I've never beaten 13-2 or 3. I mean, does that really... I mean, you kinda can... 13-1 ends in a kind of a pretty sad... Like, I think you could actually, honestly, I don't know if you do have to play 13-2 and 3, to be honest, but I mean, maybe? I don't know. 13-2... Oh, well... I also stopped that one too, but maybe I could stream that. I could stream. I probably would stream 13-1 first, just to refresh my memory again, because it has been a very, very long time. Anyway, but now we are going to purchase the proper weapons. Now we have a couple of things. Let's see. So we need a rapier for... Oh yeah, that's right. You cannot change quantities. So when you purchase an item, you have to purchase everything one at a time. So please bear with us. It's going to be a doozy. We'll give a rapier to Glenn, the fighter, and a rapier for Lutz, no, the red mage. So everyone has their own inventories. They have like 4 inventory slots, so we're gonna have to do a bunch of juggling. Yeah, it's not a shared inventory. That hasn't been invented yet for this series. And then we will need the wooden nunchucks for our dear friend Yang. And for some reason, white mages use hammers in this game. So we're going to be using an iron hammer for Rosa here. Sweet. Oh wow, glad I never played this version. Honestly, I can't recommend this unless you just want nostalgia or you're masochistic. Yeah, I just started replaying 13 last night. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about 13. Let's just say I enjoy parts of it, but I don't think it's that bad. But I do think the negatives are definitely something that can't really be overlooked. So it is not my favorite in the series, and parts of it were like not so great, but I did have fun with 13-1 overall, so I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, totally read my thoughts exactly. Yeah, I think most people who have played it feel the same way. Like, it is not an impossibly bad game, but oh well. And maybe if we ever stream 13-1, that might be a fun one to talk about when we do it. And I'm curious. So it's always been my favorite personally, then 9 and 10 and the rest after that. Ooh, interesting. That's actually a pretty good ranking, honestly. I can't really my personal ranking is probably like, I'm like between 6 and 7 in terms of my own personal favorite. 7 was the first one I played too. So, and then I played, after 7 I played 4, 5, and 6 in that order. I think, yeah, I'm pretty partial to 6 myself, as you know from when I streamed Final Fantasy 6 and 7, honestly, I talked about. But yeah. And then probably it would be similar, like, I think 9 and then 10 would be, for me, personally, I don't know. That's tough. It's tough, though. 4 and 5 are pretty good, too. 8 is... But I really was... when 8 was out, I was really obsessed with it, too. But, like, looking back, I don't think the story holds up that well. But I'm not going to talk too much about it, though. I don't want to influence anyone who's not played 8, for instance. That's it. Let me just say, I'll just stop us there. Before I start reviewing 8 by mistake and telling you guys... revealing too much. I think I shocked me by having voice, but 8 was also very good. Yeah, 8 is still a pretty decent game, in spite of its flaws. That's all I'll just say. 10 is the first game in the series with voice acting. But yeah, anyway, it's very important if you have weapons like this. You gotta make sure to equip them. Make sure to equip them. Alright, our next thing will be to buy chainmail for our fighter and our red mage. For now, you might be wondering, why would I not buy armor for the black belt and the white mage? Well, the thing is that the absorb or the defense status. Yes, Pete that is a Final Fantasy X reference. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You'll find it on the internet soon enough. If you know, you know, you know. But like, in spite of that, the awkwardness of that scene is the same pretty much the same in both English and Japanese, and that's all I'll say. The context makes a lot of sense for it to happen, but it is. I'm just gonna not tell you guys. It'll be no fun to spoil why it happens. For now, just think of it as a meme. All right, so we're going to buy the chainmail for Glenn and Lutz, who can equip it. So the thing is, why would I not want to buy armor for the white mage and the black belt? Well, we want them to be able to dodge. So these, basically the weight penalty won't justify the increased absorb, and since they don't have a lot of absorb to begin with, they're better off not wearing any armor, so that way they can dodge better. Because we don't want them to be tanking. If they can dodge hits, that's better than tanking the hit. It's not worth it. So that's why we will keep them. We'll keep armor off of them, especially for the black belt. There will be a time when the black belt will basically, will not have a lot of armor, so to keep it that way. And also, that's great too. So the black belt becomes very cheap to equip. You don't have to do much. All right, let's equip the chainmail for them. All right. Let's see. Anything else? All right. So I need to do the next thing, which is to buy spells. I'm glad we're all getting to talk about this stuff. Well, yeah, we'll be doing lots of this when we actually grind. Alright, Lutz needs to buy some black magic. I want him to have first the fire spell, of course, and the lightning spell. Done. Okay, so we are actually out of money, so we need to grind a little bit for the white mage. But so you might be wondering, should you buy every spell? Remember, you only have 3 slots per magic. So you see the level? That's the level. So every level has exactly 3 slots per character. So they can only use 3 of them. Sadly, sleep is just too unreliable to work. It's the thing with Final Fantasy where status ailments are very, very unreliable for a lot of games. So it's basically like, if you have the time to cast like status ailments, you would have been better off just using it to cast a spell or attack instead, which is really sad, but oftentimes it's more efficient not to do the status ailment in the first place because they're unreliable. There are, in later games, you will have status ailments that certain enemies are weak to that you can take advantage of, but not this game. So that's why we are not getting the sleep spell. The lock spell, I think, it's like paralysis. It's also the same problem, where like you could have spent the time, your precious magic, just using fire or lit, or you could have just had them physically attack. So yeah, it's a little sad, huh? Alright, now that we've done all that, we need to do a little bit of grinding before we can do much. I'll need a few more 100 to get Rosa her magic. So you see that you see the numbers down there? 2 out of 2, that's how many times you can use a spell. See, remember I told you magic is very, very precious? Yeah, this is why. It is very, very expensive. So once you have those slots are gone, they're not going to replenish. There's no item to replenish it. So use your magic pretty much sparingly. You'll be physical attacking most of the time. Alright, we can't even save. So you can save in an inn, but we don't have any money. So let's take care of that right now. Let's get a little bit of... oops. Yeah. Let's get some money to save. And also, we want to get to maybe around level 2 or 3 for the next area. So let's do that now. Alright, welcome to our first battle. So, these are imps, or they're goblins, actually. Goblin doesn't fit, so they had to name them imps. But these goblins are a pretty iconic enemy. You'll see them in pretty much most Final Fantasy games from this point on. So there is another little funny thing about this game. If you kill an enemy and there are multiple people who have targeted, they'll just swing and miss. Yeah. So you would be better off spreading people around to attack different enemies if you can, or just gang up, have the weak attackers gang up on one enemy, but don't target all the same enemy, or you're gonna miss 3 times if the fighter kills them, for instance. So yeah, no auto targeting. Auto targeting hasn't the thing yet. One of the most infamous things you find out. Yep, but this is how our typical battle will go. These fortunate, they're pretty weak, so very easy to kill. 17 damage. I think they have like 8 HP or something like that. They're pretty weak. Anyway, yeah, this is how the pace of the battles will go from this point on. Yeah, we'll have to make sure every level up we have to do that armor check. They give 24 gold. I'm going to use that to inn now, so I can at least save the shopping in case something horribly goes wrong, which I don't think it will, but... Welcome, stay to save your data. Oh, whoops, sorry. I forgot. Oh, it's 30 gold, so 30 kill. So we need more than that. Sorry, need to kill another enemy. But yeah, I guess we'll need 200 for Rosa's magic. So let's go ahead and do that. Spread them out. You can kill... Our characters are strong enough to kill one on their own. But yeah, this is like now you might think that this is the first Japanese RPG that has turn-based combat like this, but no. That's Dragon. Dragon Quest is more likely the more influential one in that sense. But it's cool that we get to... I'll just spread it out just in case. Yeah, so see, yeah, basically we don't want them to all target the same thing. So yeah, see, Rosa killed one, Yang killed one. We were lucky there, but if one of the other, if Lutz or Glenn had attacked, you would get nothing. They would miss, which is really sucky. But that's them's the breaks. There's no auto targeting in this game. Yay! We are going to save. Don't forget, if you leave your game, hold reset while you turn power off. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So when we turn the power off, we'll hold reset. So we want to reset the game and then turn the power off. I forget why that's a thing for the NES version, for NES cartridges with saves, but we're gonna do it. Alright, so we still have 200 gold to make up, so we want to get Cure and Harm for white mages. So yeah, get used to this, guys. This is gonna be half our playthrough, doing silly battles like this. We'll also be using an exploit, but I don't know we'll get to show it off today. It's not... I guess it's not technically... It's not an exploit, it's more like... It's because of the way the map is set up that we can do it. So, I suppose... I guess it technically is exploit, but I don't know we'll get that far in the game. I talk too much, so I kind of slowed us down a little bit for the first one. But hey, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, half the time we'll be talking about random stuff anyway, so... Yeah. 24 gold. Yeah, this is the fastest way to do things, so... Running in place. So no, it is not... Grinding has always been a thing. Since the very beginning. Yeah, and eventually, once you get hit percentage up, the hit stat to a certain point. See, notice that Rosa said it said ineffective when Rosa attacked because, well, the enemy died, so she didn't get to do anything. She attacked an enemy that was no longer there. But yeah, unlike later games of the series, there's no front row and back row. It's just the order of the characters that determines who gets hit more. So that is, in a sense, this is like the prototype of back row and front row. I think Final Fantasy II has front row, back row, so that will be a thing all the way until 10. Yeah, because like we will have Final Fantasy will be on ATB. We're not yet on the ATB. This is the first iteration of first battle system, so we don't have the bars that fill yet. That won't be till I think that's not till is that 5? 5 is the one that has the ATB? Because 4 you don't have the bars that fill yet, I think. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to remember my history. Okay, let's go ahead and buy a spell now, since we have 100 available. Yeah, we can't save yet, but the enemies are so weak that we can easily make up that money. Alright, let's go to white. Now, we're here to learn spells for Rosa. All we care about is cure and harm. Fog, I think, is to blind the enemy, but blinding does nothing because it's bugged. This game is put together with it's really not. Remember that this is the old days, and there's only pretty much one head programmer named Nasir. You'll see his name soon enough. It's kind of amazing. He's not even like the main programmer was not even Japanese. He was an immigrant into Japan, so it's actually very fascinating about Nasir. Anyway, since this is our first white magic spell, we only want cure and harm. I forget what Ruse does, but I don't think it does anything interesting. Let me check. I should also have brought out a Final Fantasy NES guide. I just realized, or not a guide, but like at least the spells. What does Ruse do again? I forget. I remember it does nothing. Oh, it's blink. Yeah. Oh, it makes your a party member invisible. Yeah, it's only for. Oh, I see. Ruse is actually Ruse is the good one actually. Ruse actually makes it so that the enemy can't hit you as well. So it's basically the blink status, the invisible but yeah, it will. Let's see, what does it do? So yeah, it increases your evade. Unfortunately, the problem with Ruse is that you can't use it on anyone else except yourself. So yeah, it would otherwise be really good, but I mean, like generally it's mostly for if you're doing a playthrough and you're by yourself, a one character run, then yeah, Ruse would make a lot of sense to have. But if you're not doing a one character run, then it's kind of not helpful. The problem is it's only for the caster, so it's not really all that helpful, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I think the knight can use eventually your fighter slash when they become a knight can learn this spell, but for now we don't need to spend money on it then. Not for a white mage either. Yeah, but it's not really all that useful. Because it takes a turn that you could have just used to attack. Alright, so we're gonna give Cure to Rosa here. And that's all we can do for now. We'll need it for we'll need to get another 100 for harm, and then we are pretty much ready to go, I think. Because we're gonna need like level 2 or 3, I think, for the next area. Which is we need to go northwest to fight Garland, so. And save Princess Sarah. It's our first quest. Yeah, you have to figure things out yourself, but it's kind of interesting where 8-bit games really like, because the lack of tutorials is quite interesting. But it made you have to like figure things out and like poke things out for yourself, which is kind of nice actually. I think sometimes a lot of modern games can get a little too scared to let the player experiment on their own. They're afraid they'll get lost, so they'll just tell you straight up what to do. I kind of see the value of that from a designer standpoint, but I don't know. Like, I do think there's a balance to be made where you want to be overly handholdy, but also like too little handholding can also be bad too. Like for some other 8-bit games, oh yep, Rosa's gonna swing and miss. So like for other 8-bit games, the problem is that they expected you to buy the guide with it, and that's really not very good. I'm looking at you, certain Phantasy Star games. Hey, Glenn level 2, yay! A big level. Lutz is gonna get some strength and vitality and luck. Alright. And Rosa will get strength and agility and intelligence, luck, but intelligence doesn't work. Alright, so now we gotta do this thing. Remember, see, Yang is supposed to have Absorb of 2. He won't have it until you look at armor. Come back out, and now Yang has Absorb of 2. Yay! And that hit percentage is really useful, because once you get to 32, it means you gain one more, the ability to hit one more time. So this game is all about multi-hits. So like what I mean is not like 4x cut or something, but when you attack, it will say 1 hit or 2 hits. So the hit percentage is how you would, it's your chance of getting an additional hit on top. And so 32 is the big one where you get an additional one for 32. So very useful to know, and very critical to Yang eventually. Once he gets to 32, then he can start dishing out damage, and it'll even dish out more without a weapon. But we'll talk about that more later. Yeah, see, 54 evade, so he has a whole 54% chance of dodging, which is very useful for classes with low defense. He will get more defense later, but that is not the case now. Do we have enough for our... No, we don't have enough for the next spell. We need enough for harm. Yeah, sometimes we get Monster Strike first. I think that's entirely... that's completely random. RNG. Alright, let's see. Come on, guys. Sad to see the miss. Oh, Yang took a hit there. Even in spite of his 53% evade, it's not 100%, so... 30 gold. I think it might be a good idea to heal, sadly. Well... yeah, we can use our magic. We have cure for this. Let me just show you. Oh, notice her... she had a little increase in magic in level 1, so that's kind of nice. It'll only replenish if we go to an inn, but I'm gonna want to finish this grinding out. Yeah, Rose is getting a little low too. Yeah, we're technically praying for giving them us more encounters, but oh well. Probably should heal herself. Everyone else is okay. Yay, grinding. My favorite. Oh yay. I love when they get to attack first. Yay. So this is why even if you are relatively prepared, you're still going to take a big hit. And no save states means that we can't just load a save state per battle. So we're going to be feeling a lot of pain early on. Especially we're not the strongest yet. It will get better, but it'll be hard before that. Do we have enough for harm? Yeah, we do. Let's go ahead and purchase harm, and then we'll be ready to go. And once we have harm, then we can move on to the northwest. Alright, Rosa. Now you might be wondering what harm does. Harm is magic to the... it damages the undead. So I think it's the equivalent... I think it would be called Holy these days. But yeah, before Holy is a very powerful spell. This is just level 1 of Holy. So... this is actually useful. It's cheap. It's a level 1 spell, and it does quite a bit of damage against the undead. So there's quite a bit of undead we'll be facing in this game. So it's a good spell to have to deal with them. Alright. Let's get enough to save, and then we can move on. I don't think we need... later on, we'll be buying lots of potions, but we don't have a need for them right now. Or a strong need for that. Okay, so more fighting. More fighting. Ow. Yay. I'll just spread it out. Yeah, I think when they attack is also random. Yay. Okay, we have enough to save, so now we can just go ahead and save. Yes, I would like to save my data. Thank you. Alright, let's go to the northwest to save Princess Sarah. And oh, we actually get to do things? Yes, we do. Oh, our first encounter with the wolves. At least there's only 2 of them right now, so hold on. Let me do one on strong one per person. Yang and Lutz target the bottom, and Glenn and Rosa will go attack the top. Oh, 20. Wow. He killed in 1 hit. Oh. Not quite. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, guys. We gotta hit them. There you go. Yeah, they do have evade too, so that does influence. Oh, right. I did save, but yeah, unfortunately, this game, unlike like Dragon Quest or Earthbound or Mother series or Pokemon, if you die in this game, it's game over and you don't keep your EXP. This is the game. This series, Final Fantasy, is the one that made me scared to ever die in an RPG. I found out later that like that wasn't the case for all RPGs, but for a long time I thought, oh, if you die in the game over, you don't keep any of your EXP, which is really sucky. But that's not the case. Dragon Quest, you can keep your EXP, although you lose half your money. I think that's the same for Earthbound as well, and for Pokemon, which is very much based on Dragon. The Earthbound and Pokemon are very, very influenced by Dragon Quest. So, not surprising they have very similar penalties for losing. In some cases, Dragon Quest is a bit more forgiving, because you can keep your levels even though you die. But this game is very unforgiving. No keeping your levels. You did all that fun stuff. You have to do it again, and then you cry. All right, welcome to Garland's. All right, this is Garland's place. Let's first go to the left, because we do want to hit some chests. All right, we have some spiders. Oh boy. Let's just see if we can beat these things up without using a fire spell. 8 damage. Ow. Our first encounter with the creepy crawlers. Oh wow, nice. Got a crit. No crit for you, Glenn. Okay, good. Thank you, Yang. Didn't realize there'd probably be spooters. Yeah, they don't look the sprites are not really convincing. But remember, we're limited to color palettes of the NES. Alright, I found a cap. We want that for... Oops. Armor. We want to equip that for Glenn, who can wear a cap. The more defense, the better for him. Yeah, since his job is to tank and not to evade, so... Alright, let's just see... Go here and go into this room. The right side has stuff that you can't get right now, so pointless to go. Yeah, we got our heal potion. So, they're not called potions in this game. They're called heal because potion is too long of a word. But they're basically potions in later games. Alright, we got our cabin. Cabin is very important. It allows you to rest in the middle of the field and save as well. So, that's kinda nice. Oh boy, creep. Oh, this is dangerous. So, we want to hit it with fire, please. Yeah, you don't want that thing to be alive. They're very dangerous. So, if we can hit them, the better. Yeah, see, creeps are pretty strong, have pretty good, they can do big damage and it's painful. So, same thing. I'll just try not to, I don't want to use too much fire spells. Just cause, darn it. Oh, Lutz, you are cutting it close there, buddy. I don't want to run away, but we have to. See? Look at how dangerous they are. Lutz is one hit from dying, so... You have to really... You really do have to be really careful. Okay. Okay. We'll be okay. Now I'm wondering if I should have grinded for more, life potions, but I don't want to do that. Are we close to a level, actually? No, we're not close to a level. 70. So, no, it'll be a while. Okay, we got a bone to pick with these guys. Don't think I need to... think they're not nearly as scary as the creeps. I could use harm on them, but I'm going to save my charges for later. Oh, come on, guys. Okay, no, I don't think we need to use harm on them. Okay, no worries here. Those undead monsters aren't particularly scary. Alright, we have obtained all the chests we can do. Let us take on the man himself. Is this Garland who they have spoken of? Hello. No one touches my princess. Light warriors, you impertinent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. Because they can't say die in this game. Yes, that's where... We'll kill you all has become, we'll knock you all down. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and just go all out on him. We can do that because we won't have to walk out of this dungeon ourselves. So, burn him with fire. Attack normally. I guess attack normally for Rosa. 13 damage. Not the greatest hit. He's not that tough, so... He's a early game boss, so you don't have to worry too much about him. If anything, he might be less... We'll see if he's any more dangerous than the creeps we just fought. Yeah, for now. Rosa's in an okay state, so I'm not going to heal yet. 20 damage. There you go. That's the stuff. Yeah. Oh, come on, guys. He can't cast anymore, so Lutz has to go swinging. And just swing with physical. Ouch. Oh, I missed. Good. Hey, there's Garland. Get out of here. Not bad. Got a lot of gold. Alright. And I'm guessing you're Princess Sarah. Oh, just one spooter. One little spider will do not kill our party. Oh, fine. Do 1 damage. Couldn't leave us alone till the end. So, you are the Light Warriors. Thank you. Yay. Oof. Alright. We are out of that dungeon, and here we are in the castle. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. Go now and make the orbs shine again. Or the crystals. The princess always worries about you. This loot has been passed down from queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as my gift. It might just come in handy. It just might come in handy. And she's right. Now, get ready for your trip and make the orbs, crystals, shine again. Oh, right. What did the guard say now? Thank you for rescuing the princess. Sweet. Not much we can do, but I can show you if they say anything different. Yes, sir. I belong to the honor guard of Castle Corneria. Nino. Yeah, thank you for rescuing the princess. I think there's... Legend says that the loot can break the evil gate. Oh. Nothing here. I believe there's a secret NPC around here. That's a bug. So, you are the Light Warriors? It's apparently a lady NPC that was supposed to be here, but... See, I can't walk past here. But it's bugged. Just wanted to show you little silly things you can see. Thank you. Okay. How, Queen? Thank you for saving Princess Sarah. Oh, that's it? Alright. Yes, sir, I belong to the Honor Guard of Corneria. My sister is back safe, thank you. Aw, you're welcome. I'm not gonna sing the You're Welcome song. If you from Moana. I don't know if the old men say anything different. We can galley get out of here. But I'll show you what they say. Okay, yeah, they just talk about the mystic key. The special key. I think we're still damaged, yeah. We should heal for sure. Alright. I think we should head towards the next area. Alright. Let's move on. Excuse me. Oh. Did anyone say anything different? I mean, I guess we could... What did they sell here? They sell heal, pure, and tents, right? Eventually we'll want to buy lots of tents, but I don't want to do that right now. Well, why don't you want a lot of heals and pures as well? Eventually, I think we want to buy 99 of these, but I want to save my money for now, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, yeah, he says the same thing about Provoca. Matoya has poor eyesight. She needs the crystal to see. Matoya? Who is that? Who's that? Okay, yes, I will revive the power of the crystals. Yes, Arelon, I know you're a dancer. Okay, yeah, Crescent Lake. So we want to go to Provoca probably next. North of Corneria lives a witch named Matoya. I think we need to pay a visit to this Matoya first, since they keep talking about her. Alright, see? There's a bridge now where there wasn't. Let's go here. And so their journey begins. What awaits the four, they do not know. Hey, recognize this theme? You'll hear that in many other Final Fantasy games too. Each holding an orb crystal that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. Programmed by Nasir. Remember I talked about him? The lead programmer. Interesting fella. The character designer was, of course, Amano Sensei, or Amano Yoshitaka. Terada Kenji. I don't know if he's still with the company. Amano is independent, but he still does designs for various things. Production of the Square A-Team. Yep. Oh yeah, now it's time to really kick into high gear. We want to go see Matoya? First, we gotta deal with these wimps. So let's take care of them. We probably want to grind to level 4 if we can. We're gonna go to areas that are better suited for it soon enough. Alright, let's go. Ooh, gray imps. Gray goblins. They're really not that much stronger than regular owl. Imps. Regular goblins, so don't worry about them too much. Wimp. At least they give you a little more gold and a little more EXP. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's a cave here. I wonder if this is the Notoya they were talking about from the north. What does this boom say? A magic spell? No. That is, if you notice, the brooms talk to you in reverse text. So that says, push B to select a magic spell. Okay, yes, we'll push B to select a magic spell. Let's first get some stuff first. Got my pure potion. Yes, I'll push B to select a magic spell. Another heal potion. Or potion. Potion. Pure is like antidote, actually. So, I wonder if this witch is Matoya. No, nothing. Hello? Where is my crystal? I can't see anything without it. Who stole my crystal? Crystal ball, in case you're wondering. Not like crystal from like that is what we're actually trying to revive. Oh well. Well, that's unfortunate for her. So we'll eventually want to find her crystal ball. We're 12 away from a level up, so that's pretty good. I might walk back to... Well, no, we can get the level here. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Okay, so we want to... This is probably the best place to get levels. So we want to get level 3, but we can try to fight it out and see if we can survive this. And yeah, there's no back row or front row, so you can attack an enemy in any location. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna have Yang and Rosa attack the lower level wolves. Oh, come on. Ow. A little worried, but we'll see. Yeah, I get really worried when they attack the low defense people. Yeah, this is a really dangerous formation. Still kind of worried. I don't think we need to heal, but we'll see. Yeah, this is the terrifying part when they're going after... Okay. Oh, come on, guys. Oh boy, this is bad. Look at how south... Oh boy. I think we need to run. I don't think we can win this. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. This is... Look at how quickly the tides can turn in this game. We were very fortunate we managed to escape with our lives. I think I'm going to go for level 3 and then come back here when we're a little stronger so we can take on the Grey Wolves. For now, we'll just deal with these wimps. Yeah, we'll need level 4 for Provoke Up. because there's something we need to do there. Just to tell you, not to spoil anything. Oh, creeps are here. Oh, creeps. Not fun. Ooh, maybe we better run. Or maybe we might survive. Okay. Yeah, you better heal. Oh, good, he didn't attack. Nice. Good crit, Leon. Oh my gosh. 31. And that should give us a level. Yeah. And you like this. And of course you're hearing the battle theme. Battle victory theme. That'll be a thing for... I just realized, I forgot to mention, that'll be a thing for the rest of the series, really. Levels for everyone. Int, Vit up. But Int doesn't matter. Luck. Strength, Agility, Int, and Vit. Okay. Okay, once again, we gotta do the armor look and look at the status. And now his absorb is correct. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Corneria. Oh, mad ponies. I'm actually gonna run. Maybe we better run. Yeah, I'm gonna run and save first before I go any further that way. Very painful enemies. Mad ponies are no fun. Although 2 isn't that bad, but... Oh, that was too close. Too close. So sad that... look at how quickly the tides can turn. Welcome to Final Fantasy NES, guys. Alright, we're going to go to near Matoya to continue grinding. And then we'll just make our way down here. Once we get to level 4, we're in good shape. Oh, Mad Pony. At least we get to fight one on its own. They take a bit to take down, but... with one of them, they're not nearly as threatening. Sweet. They still managed to hit my Rosa. Yeah, we're gonna go to try to grind to level 4, and that should give us enough to survive the next area. Alright, ogre time. Alright, let's deal with these guys. They give lots of gold at least. Yeah, this is our first foray with the ogre. They're gonna take a bit to kill though. But you'll be wanting to fight these guys more. They give more not EXP, gold. Gil. Whoa. Don't think we need to run away yet. Oh, they take forever to kill. Unfortunately, I think Rose has to heal herself. I'm trying not to use any potions because I want to keep them if possible. I gotta do it. Finally. Okay, good miss. Of course, Yang couldn't hit anything. The ogre died. Oh, jeez. I gotta cure Yang too. Oh no, never. Yep. 97. Oh, look at that. Look at those numbers. That's why ogres are really worth it to fight. Even if they hit really hard and they can kill you in a couple of hits. Okay. They're pretty brutal though. But we want level 4 anyway. Even one is enough to run back and forth. Oh. Oh. My goodness, we're still missing. That's so sad. Yeah, the cheapest inn is still Corneria, so you'll probably want to save there for the most part. I know this is very conservative, but unfortunately with the game is so punishing. You don't want to lose all that use valuable levels and valuable EXP and gold. One of the interesting things, if it ever interests you, is to watch a speed run of Final Fantasy. It's crazy how well they know the game. And the strategies for a speed run are very, very interesting. Particularly since it flies in the face of what you would normally think to do. The other thing to mention is that, of course they hit me. Like this is one of, like, even in 8-bit form, this kind of composition for music for video games was extremely uncommon. It's really a testament to just like the musical, I guess, genius. I would say musical genius of Nobuo Uematsu Sensei, or Nobuo Uematsu is how you would say it. Like, he's the composer for most Final Fantasy music for a very, very long time. All the way until 10 is the last one he did as a main line. I don't know if he worked. I think of course there's some stuff he contributed for FF7 Remake and Rebirth, but those don't. But I don't think there's any new pieces from him for those. But yeah. So a lot of the musical identity of this series was really shaped by him. And it all starts with this game. These iconic themes you're hearing right now like you can take it for granted. They sound pretty like, oh, it's 8-bit. It sounds a little pretty interesting, but yeah, like it would not, music like this was uncommon in the NES era. So it's really a testament to how good the compositions are, that they still sound good even in 8-bit form. Yeah, so that's a really huge like paradigm shift for video game music in general. That you can make even a 8-bit console produce music that's iconic. Ow. Ow. Oh, these gray wolves. They're literally killing me. Yeah, Rosa's in trouble, but I'll heal her in just a moment. Yeah, there you go, Rosa. Oh, so painful. So painful. Look at what they did to her. Oh boy. I am scared. If it goes south, then we are going to have to run. Yeah, I think we maybe have to focus fire, if anything. Ugh. Ugh. Look at how much damage. Sob. Ah, please don't kill Yang. Ow. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I don't know about this. Kinda worried. Why am I trying to do magic? That won't do anything. Heal yourself, please. Oh. Uh-oh. Ah, I was afraid of that. Oh my gosh. I don't think we can do this. Darn it. Rip. Darn it. Oh well. We gotta go back to town and like heal up. Run. No. Ah, this sucks. This is one thing I don't like about this game. Oh, just one map point is fine. Whatever. Let's go heal them up. One sec. Yay, time for the clinic. At least we have money. Let's get Rosa back up. You do not need my help now. Yeah, I didn't want to try to do it without. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can actually speed that up. I keep forgetting I can do that. I keep sitting and letting the music play, but it's such a nice theme. Da, 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 da. Alright. Back to the grind, folks. Yeah, we've gotten a little unlucky, but... Yeah, that Grey Wolf party formation is really scary. Still a bit to go. The Asp, I think they can poison you, so that's kind of dangerous. So let's take care of the snake as soon as possible. Oh wow, nice. Crit. 30 and 50. Yeah, those snakes are among the easier enemies, so it'll be nice to keep getting that. Alright, we got a Grey Wolf. Alright, focus fire. Alright. Oh, I hate when they do get that. Yuck. Darn it. There you go. Finally. Took 10 years to finally kill the Grey Wolf. He's so far so good. Yeah, I didn't know how much HP I have, so unfortunately we're gonna miss a little bit. We'll just do the usual. My goodness, they're so hard to hit. The evade on these wolves are is pretty high. Ah, darn it. Can't hit wolves. They're so fast. They're such good evade. Finally. 81 points. Nice. We're so close to that level 4. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Not exactly the ideal wolf formation I wanted with gray wolves, but oh well. Ow. Ow. I hate when they get crits. Yeah. Level up. Yeah. Glenn gets more strength, agility, and fit and luck. Even though int is useless. Strength up. Fit. Luck. Yang gets agility. Int who cares? Fit up. And Rosa gets strength, agility, int. Okay. Then luck. 4 is a pretty critical level. They go help with strength. I forget why. Sometimes I forget the. I didn't make a note. I know there's a reason to get the level 4 for stat wise. Alright, well, we're not going to grind to level 5. We should just go to Pravoka now, I think. Let's just go save that we have these levels at all, so you don't have to re-earn it again. Alright, 30 gold gil. Huh, I wonder what that port thing is there for. Well. Oh, Graham's here. I didn't even know you could encounter them here. I've forgotten you could. Yeah, ineffective. There you go. But they're pretty weak, so who cares? We have 7 minutes. We can try to make our way to Pravoka and see if we can make it there in one piece. I know, I keep forgetting. I'll try to make sure I go quickly. Now that we're level 4, we hopefully have enough to get the level to Pravoka, which we need to go to the east. Okay, whatever. Look at all that. Look at our HP now. That levels are making a difference. At least if you play this on like something like the emulator or you play on Nintendo Switch Online, you can always see save state, which is really, really helpful. But unfortunately, we're not doing that. So we have no recourse. If we are in trouble, we have to start running back. Or using a tent. I think you can. I think tent revives people, but I'm not sure. Okay, we're gonna take out the wolves first. They're much more dangerous than anything else in this formation. I know this game loves overloading you with lots of fun enemies. I'm gonna focus fire on one. The gray imps I don't really care about. Yeah. These wolves are really hard to hit, so I'm taking them out first. Taking out the most dangerous first is probably the way to go. Ow. Ow. Oh, that's up. 2 is okay. Yeah, having Glenn attack Grey Imp instead. And I think the Grey Wolf's about to die. Actually, the wolves maybe might be more dangerous than the Grey Imps, but whatever. Oops. The Grey Wolf died already. Ow. No one wants that. Ow. That's an ow. That really sucks when they hit Rosa. Because it's harder to keep her health up. There you go. Oh, jeez. Why are they hitting so hard? Why are y'all so mean? Okay, this isn't too bad. I'm gonna focus fire on the Grey Wolf, and the rest of the wolves we don't care. These are knights now doing the fighters now doing 31 damage. Pretty good. Now we can just sprint out and take it to him. There's a Star Fox 64 quote there. Alright, let's see if we can kill him. Yeah. There it is. Can we make it to Pravoka without an encounter? We did it! Yay! Oh, whew. Help! Help? What's wrong? Oh, that's not good. This town has been invaded by pirates. At least we can save. Oh, right. Well, guys, it seems like we have made it to the 2-hour mark. I was hoping we could get here to Pravoka in 2 hours. So, we will need to deal with. It seems like Pravoka needs our help to fight against the pirates, but we'll have to save that for the next stream. But if you did enjoy today's Final Fantasy stream, we do have a Discord where we discuss this game and other games of interest. Or you follow us on Facebook or X or Blue Sky down below. We have archives of previous streams on the YouTube channel. I have been uploading to it, but I'm sorry I haven't made a lot of it public yet. I'm mostly focused on just uploading as much as I can before. So we have a online record of some streams that were not already on YouTube before. But anyway, yeah, if you did enjoy this, we will continue again tomorrow which is Wednesday, and we'll continue from Pravoka and make our way through the game and continue the grind. Yeah, that's no fun, but it's what we can do. But that's just half the battle, right, guys? But in any case, thank you all for this Final Fantasy stream, and I guess as always, 晚安, which means good night, and 下次再见 means see you next time, and 谢谢收看 which thank you for watching. 求神祝福们 may God bless you. 愿你的一天有福 may your day be full of blessing. Hope you guys have a good one, and see you later. Bye now. But seriously, this game is super mean though.